Welcome back, guys. So today we are going to talk about this app.js. It's a lot of code. So I just went ahead and I put it in a file. So if you haven't already, then I would suggest that you pause this video and copy it down because we are going to be talking about it and you will actually need it a lot. So go ahead and do that right now. I'm just going to put this into a readable format. And you're good. Okay, so app.js. I hope you made a components folder underneath your users folder, and underneath that components folder, I want you to put app.js, and you should have already actually put this code within that file. So app.js has a lot to do with actions, reducers, and selectors. And if you haven't heard of those terms before, it actually has something to do with Redux, which is the way we're going to actually store our data and retrieve our data in a way that doesn't cost us API calls. The only time it costs us API calls is when we retrieve the data to update the store. So that's the difference there. Now, you must be asking questions such as what's a selector, what's an action, what's a reducer. Well, that's all really technical Redux stuff, and I'm not really going to go into the details, but we're going to go through the definitions of them. So this is pretty much what a selector is. I found the article on Medium, and it pretty much described it like the best it could, so it described it better than I could. So a selector is simply a function that accepts Redux state as an argument and returns data that is derived from that state. Boom, you got it. So I love it when people are funny and they put something like Bernie Sanders waving his finger around. But you can think of it, how I think of it is I think of it as a person that goes to a store and he'll either like take an order and return what is from the store. So you could think of it like a pizza delivery guy or something. That's how I think about it. Might make no sense to you, but it makes a lot of sense to me because all the guy does is he accepts an argument, which is an order, and he returns that order to you as the user. So makes complete sense to me. So that's what all we're going to talk about for selectors. Now, what's an action? An action, how they defined it on the redux.js.org site, is they're payloads of information that send data from your application to your store, and they are the only source of information for the store. You send them to the store using store.dispatch. We're not particularly going to do it that way, but we are in the same sense that underneath the hood, we're going to be doing it this way, but we're going to make it abstract it so that it makes a much more sense to us, and you'll see that later on in the videos. We're probably not gonna go dive deep into Redux because that's a whole nother monster by itself. It's a whole nother series. Actually, there are a lot of courses where, and I might do one with specific focus with our Dancing Nomads application, but right now we're just gonna give us a high-level description of actions, reducers, and selectors. So you can think of actions like the highway, whereas the pizza delivery guy, would actually have to take the order and go through the highway to get to the store, which is the reducer. So that's the highway that sends the data to our store from the application. Or even if you can think about it in another terms, it would probably make more sense as a telephone because you're calling the pizza store or the delivery man to, probably won't do that, but let's say you're calling the delivery man to tell him that you need this pizza made or something. So you're sending data from your telephone to the pizza store. So that's it for actions. Now reducers, as I said, I think of it like the pizza store, where it's responsible for all the changes in your store. It's responsible for taking the data, taking that phone call, and making the pizza, accepting the order, making the changes to the pizza, Say you got an order, but they called back 5 minutes later and said that it's a wrong order. They actually wanted anchovies in this pizza for some weird reason, and then the store will have to make the change. So here the definition is the reducer specify how the application state changes in response to actions sent to the store. Remember that actions only describe what happened, but they don't describe how the application state changes. So reducers are really focused on making those changes to your store. So that's pretty much it. So if you go back to our app.js, we have all these mapStatetoProps, mapDispatchToProps. That's pretty much just to allow us to call actions within these action creators. I'll have to share with you the files for all these action creators because we're not going to go through them, which is why you should actually sign up for our mailing list, because you will get them for free that way. And you really need them to actually continue with the course. So go over to the mailing list. It's down in the description. The link is in the description, and you could join us and grab your files. So inside these action creators, once we do this map, I'm Asian. I went to ESL. I can't pronounce properly. mapDispatchToProps. So when we call that means they pretty much allow us to call the functions within these action creators. So we'll see at a later video that inside these action creators, we'll actually use the functions inside of them. Similarly, in the mapStatetoProps, we have all these selectors that map to pretty much the state that we have in the store. So within our store, we'll have attributes called auth, error message, error alert, my dances, and the selectors are pretty much a way for us to grab the data within those attributes. And that's pretty much all I wanted to go through. Try to keep this video short because it's a lot of code, but once we start working with it, it'll make more and more sense. So I'm kind of leveling it out just so that the videos actually build up for you, so that right now it might not make a lot of sense, but as we keep learning, as you keep watching these videos and you keep using it, then you kind of make, oh, that's what he meant. So that's how this curriculum is kind of built. And that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.